Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the realm of bizarre news. I'm your host, Dr. Franklin Ruehl, and the question of the day, do werewolves exist? Now, the best, most comprehensive book on the subject, The Werewolf Book, by noted cryptozoologist Brad Steiger. I actually had the high honor of preparing the foreword to it. Now, the first depiction of a werewolf is on a cave wall, which apparently shows a man-wolf hybrid. And the first written account in the good book, in the Old Testament, Book of Daniel, chapter 4, verses 15 through 33, where he describes King Nebuchadnezzar's 4-year agony as a werewolf. And of course, in Greek mythology, we have King Lycaon of Arcadia, who dared serve Zeus, the king of the gods, a feast of human flesh. In retaliation, Zeus transmogrified him into a werewolf, and that gave us the modern term for werewolf, namely lycanthrope. Now, one of the most intriguing cases of lycanthropy comes from the Fichtel Mountains of Germany in the 18th century. A farmer hired a hunter to kill a wolf that had been stalking his lambs. But when the hunter shot that wolf, it simply ran off, apparently unharmed. But the next day, the farmer noticed an old woman hobbling down the street. She was known for being a witch, and he immediately deduced that she had been the wolf who had been wounded. So he had her arrested, and she was chained to a cell. But when the police went in to interrogate her, she had vanished, the chain ripped apart. A few nights later, the hunter and the farmer encountered the wolf once again. This time it attacked them, but the hunter was ready with a silver-bladed knife. He jammed it right into the chest of the wolf. As it lay dying, it morphed into the old lady. She indeed had been a lycanthrope. They buried her 20 feet under the ground with a wolfstone marker, hoping that she'd never rise again. Now, over the decades, over the centuries, some locals have claimed seeing paranormal activity associated with that grave, such as strange lights hovering above it. One of the most intriguing cases of lycanthropes from the annals of cryptozoology, for your consideration, yes. Now for the trivia question of the day. Let me extricate him from its paper prison. The question, what is the fear of lightning called? Is it tonitrophobia, ombrophobia, lilapsophobia, or astrophobia? Now the only prize for the correct answer, one pat on the back that you'll have to administer to yourself. Heck of a lot better than a slap on the belly with a wet trout. Now, speaking of lightning, in Nanking, China, a neighbor accused another man of borrowing $80 3 years ago for a wedding gift and not repaying it. The man denied he owed it. The neighbor said if he would swear to the Lord that he did not owe the money, he would waive the debt. So the man swore to the Lord he did not owe it, and immediately thereafter he was struck by a lightning bolt. Now, it didn't kill him, but it severely injured him. And of course, the warning here, if you're going to make a pledge that's an untruth, do not invoke the name of the Lord. No. Now, what is the fear of lightning? Tonitrophobia, ombrophobia, lilapsophobia, or astrophobia. You say astrophobia, absolutely right. Tonitrophobia, the fear of thunder. Ombrophobia, the fear of rain. And lilapsophobia, the fear of hurricanes. Now, for the vault of strange deaths, or we should say the after death, we have the case of a young man, 24, in San Juan, Puerto Rico, who on his deathbed asked that he be allowed to stand up for the 3 days of his wake. So special embalming fluid was injected into his cadaver, and he was placed upright in his mother's living room for the 3 days of the wake, wearing his favorite Yankee cap and sunglasses. A great idea. I think this should be invoked more often for wakes. Let them stand up, not lie down, yes. Now until next time, may the power of the cosmos be with you. Yes, yes, yes. And werewolves do indeed exist, as you can see.